seemed to me that this idea that humanity and the consumption by humanity just can't go on growing forever and ever. As much as it might be antithetical to certain economists, I just think unlimited economic growth is a crazy idea that's not compatible with a healthy planet. My dad was an engineer, and he worked in research and development at various sort of tech companies of the day. And my mom was a bit of an environmentalist and activist even at times. I remember we lived outside of New York City. And in the early 70s, my parents took us to the Museum of Natural History. And we saw an exhibit called Can Man Survive? And, this is New York, so they didn't mince words or anything. It was a fairly brutal exhibit, and it just, showed mountains of pollution and, rivers on fire and all these things we've read about. And, it definitely had an impact. So we had just moved from New York up to the Boston area to Concord, Massachusetts. And we went out for a hike and quite literally came out of the woods, and here was this old hydroelectric power plant on the Assabet River. That clearly hadn't run in decades. But to my little head, it just all made sense that we could take advantage of these little old mills like the one that we had stumbled upon and resurrect them and generate local clean electricity. Years later, I would come to own that very same plant. It was kind of a dog. It was pretty hard to make it profitable, but it was fun to actually own it like 15 years after I first stumbled upon it. So over the course of my career in this small hydropower industry, my partners and I have purchased, I think, maybe 12 power plants. Most of those were not operating when we bought them, and so we were basically resurrecting them and, from various states of disrepair and decay. When I met my wife, her family was already pretty seriously involved in land conservation. They did a pretty sizable, important project, again, here in Chester County, New Hampshire. And so my wife, Annie Faulkner, and I have always been interested in land conservation. My wife coined the term venture conservation. Whenever we had some spare cash and saw some land that might be for sale that seemed ripe for conservation, for example, because it was really fine habitat or because it was contiguous with existing conservation land, we would try to work on either buying it or helping work with local land trusts to buy it. And although it took a couple of years, we found some really incredible, beautiful land up north. It's all forest and it's going to remain in active forestry, but we bought it and closed in July, and it's about 7,150 acres, and we're looking forward to working with perhaps the Forest Society and the Conservation Fund and maybe the Mahoosic Land Trust on getting most of it into permanent conservation. I would say to young people, number one, if somebody tells you it can't be done, including, the climate crisis cannot be beat, or the extinction crisis, or the biodiversity crisis, whatever you want to talk about, don't listen to them. Just get to work. I mean, that's what I would say. Just get to work and follow your vision. And, anybody stands in your way and tries to tell you it can't be done, they're wrong.